This program is brought to you by generous donations from the community and sponsored by Stifel Financial.
Good evening. My name is Lynn Forbes, your host for tonight's edition of Nevada County Now. Last week, Valhalla Lodge hosted the 2025 Lake Tahoe Summit. The annual event focuses attention on key environmental challenges facing the region and outlines potential solutions necessary to keep Lake Tahoe a pristine jewel in the Sierras. The inaugural Lake Tahoe Summit took place in 1997, spearheaded by Nevada Senator Harry Reid, California Senator Dianne Feinstein, and President Bill Clinton. The event brought together federal, state, and local leaders, the Washoe Tribe of Nevada and California, scientists, environmental advocates, and economic interests to address the deteriorating clarity of Lake Tahoe's waters. It marked a defining moment in bipartisan collaboration to protect one of the nation's most iconic and treasured landscapes. It also jump-started a decades-long bi-state partnership to restore Lake Tahoe's water quality and strengthen the region's environmental and economy for future generations. Today, the Lake Tahoe Environmental Improvement Program, known as EIP, is implemented by more than 80 organizations and is one of the most successful large-scale conservation programs in the nation. The annual Tahoe Summit continues to bring together local and national leaders and the community to celebrate progress and call attention to the outstanding challenges and emerging threats facing the Lake Tahoe region. Among the speakers in this year's event were host Senator Adam Schiff, keynote speaker, actor, and Tahoe resident Jeremy Renner, and Nevada Governor Joe Lombardo. Key themes from this year's event were a call to community members, business leaders, and elected officials to work together to broadly promote clean energy, fire prevention, and balanced sustainable recreation and conservation in the Tahoe region. In addition, the late Senator Dianne Feinstein was honored for her lifelong commitment to environmental protections that have kept Lake Tahoe a national treasure. Don't go away. Next, this week's featured segment, Back to School at Home.
Thank you to Stifel Financial, proudly helping individuals pursue financial goals, businesses and organizations raise and protect capital, and communities offer a higher quality of life. To learn more, visit www.stifel.com.
As summer winds down and the new school year ramps up, families begin the transition from summer routines to backpacks stuffed with notebooks, pencils, and packed lunches. It can be an exciting time of new possibilities, new subjects, and new relationships. It can also be a very stressful time, especially if back to school is in the home. In California, there are several ways parents may educate their children at home, including options available through public charter schools, public school independent study programs, private school independent programs, and home-based private schools, as well as a credentialed tutor. To give you a frame of reference for statewide trends, in California overall, approximately 5% of K-12 students are homeschooled in the 22-23 school year, and that number dipped slightly to 4% in 23-24. California has more homeschooled children than any other state in the United States. In September 2024, California had nearly 550,000 homeschool kids, representing 13% of homeschoolers nationwide. Texas and New York follow with 440,000 children, that's 10%, and 221,000, 5% homeschooled children, respectively. For families that homeschool, returning to a structured learning environment in the home comes with its own unique set of challenges. Transitioning from unconstrained routines and schedules to a more fixed, predictable, and organized learning environment can be daunting. Some of the key challenges facing parents that homeschool are maintaining control over a consistent daily schedule whilst juggling work and supervision responsibilities, establishing a quiet, organized space for focused learning, access to the right technology, including high-speed internet, homeschool curriculum, and video conferencing capabilities, and student socialization and motivation. There are solutions and best practices that can help parents prepare for the transition, including visual schedules and calendar reminders, applying for school-issued laptops and donations from local nonprofits, setting up virtual play dates, group projects, or enrolling in extracurricular activities like art, sports, and music, establishing clear goals and expectations, and taking advantage of homeschool networks in the community and regular check-ins with homeschool support staff. For more on recommended tools and resources, please visit today's show notes. We are going to take a short commercial break and then speak to two Nevada County residents who have experience in homeschooling.
From the foothills of the Sierra Nevada, a new hero will emerge. One who is ready. One who makes sure their friends and family are set. And has the power to go at a moment's notice. This fire season, you're the hero. We are Ready Nevada County.
Protecting the environment is more than just a responsibility. It's a way of life. Nevada County Environmental Health is dedicated to safeguarding your health and the beauty of our community. From water safety and waste management to food inspections and disease prevention, we work every day to ensure a cleaner, safer, and healthier future for all. Together, we can preserve Nevada County's natural beauty for generations to come. Visit Nevada County Environmental Health today and learn how we can build a better community together. Nevada County Environmental Health, protecting health, preserving nature, working together for our community.
We are fortunate today to welcome Shannon Rashby, supervising teacher at Forest Charter School in Nevada City, and her daughter, Clover, a student at Forest Charter School. Welcome, you guys. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for coming. So we are a week away from the start of a new school year. How's everybody feeling?
Good.
Now, I know that you are not at Forest Charter anymore. You've moved on to the high school level, right?
Yes,
so,
yes, ma'am.
How are we feeling as the days dawn here? What's going on?
Excited.
Yeah,
It's an exciting time.
I agree.
How are you're no longer homeschooling, but how are you've been in their seats. How are homeschool parents feeling? Is it a little more anxiety ridden than it would be if you were just sending your children out the door?
I actually think it's less anxiety ridden. There is more work on the parents. The parents are getting organized and figuring out their plan and scheduling, things that in a traditional school the teacher does. The parents are doing at home, figuring out what the schedule's going to be, how they're going to work in snacks or whatever. But it's also really fun. It's a fun time, and one of the things that is special about homeschooling is designing it for your child. So exploring the ideas of how your child wants to learn, what your child wants to learn about. Of course, every student follows the standards, but when you're homeschooling, you can deep dive into the things that they're really interested in. Yeah,
customized within the requirements of the state education guidelines.
And so it's really fun to make it exciting for your students.
So were you homeschooling from the time that Clover was in kindergarten, or?
No, she started in elementary school and then homeschooled all the way through middle school.
Okay,
yeah.
And you have an older child as well, so you're super experienced.
Yeah,
right.
I've homeschooled 2 kids.
So I would say that I'm very curious about the family dynamic. Does homeschooling make you closer as a family, or does it create more strife? What's the experience like?
I would say it makes us a lot more tight-knit. When I was in elementary school, obviously I was close to my mom, I was close to my brothers, I was close to my whole family. But once I started homeschooling and I was with them consistently, I also homeschooled starting at the time of COVID, so everybody was really close together. And honestly, I was expecting to be so annoying, but it was really nice. And I feel especially me and my mom have gotten a lot closer because she was legit my teacher you know?
Yes.
And she, like how she was saying, like, she customized it to be for me, so it, like, made me like her a lot better.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's good.
I see that with all of my students. They're all very close with their parents. And I would say, I think most of my students would call the parent that is doing the majority of the homeschooling their best friend.
Honestly, okay. So, and I was thinking about the COVID, the time of COVID, where if you were already in a homeschooling environment, the COVID thing wasn't as much of a disruption. I mean, life went on as you had done before. So at the beginning of the year, I assume that you belong to a network of a homeschooling network that provides materials and guidelines and such for you to conduct homeschooling.
Yeah, that's where Forest Charter comes in. So that's my job at Forest Charter. I'm a supervising teacher. So each family is assigned to a supervising teacher who is the person that is making sure you're following the state standards, that helps you get your curriculum. And each student can choose the curriculum that works best for them or customize it. They can just choose this, look at the standards and be like, we're going to create projects that meet the standards. But it's my job to make sure that they are following the standards. We'll meet with the families anywhere from once a week to once a month, depending on what that family needs. So they get constant support from the school. They're not doing it alone.
Right. Yeah. And what was your experience as far as the testing and sort of the guidelines that your mom had to follow? I assume you were the only one homeschooling the children.
Yeah, I did the bulk of it. Yeah.
So what was your experience as far as having to stay in the guidelines and pass the standardized tests and all that?
Yeah, they still do testing. Yeah.
Honestly, like, since I was, like, homeschooled and she was creating all my things and I got to, like, say my ideas, like, I didn't really know what was, like, legally needed to be done. I assume we did it, but as far as, like, testing and, like, state testing, that sucked because I was so used to, like, doing such, like, I'm very, like, a crafty person, so I was very into, like, doing, like, artsy things while learning about, like, science or whatever. And so when state testing came around, I was like, what is this? Like, where's my notebook? Where's my pencils?
Right.
But, like, it's annoying, but honestly, I think it's probably just as annoying as anyone else that's, like,
any other school
public
environment.
school. But, like, it's a little bit extra because you're so used to, like, being able to do it how, like, what works best with your brain. Like, it's not like someone's just, like, putting something in front of you. It's like, this doesn't work for me. What can we change? While still, like, getting my education. Right. And then they hand you, like, CAST testing, and I'm like, this doesn't work.
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't fit with what my mom's been doing with me so far, right?
You get it done, you move on, you learn what you want to learn.
Right, like, exactly. Now, what about, I have another question about the family dynamic, and then a specific question for you, Shannon. So we were talking about this earlier. What if you had, like, a little argument with your mom the night before about who was going to do the dishes that night, and then, the next morning you're at the table being ready to be homeschooled for the day? Was there ever any kind of lines that you guys had to negotiate? How did you handle that?
I mean, if she says do the dishes and I talk back, is that back talk? I do the dishes.
Got it. Okay. Back talk. I don't think I ever used that one.
I think that because families are spending so much time together, they learn how to communicate very well. So there's not necessarily the same hyper level of conflict as there would be when you're not spending all this time together.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's really special. Yeah. I mean, the relationships that I see that come out of homeschooling are just so unique and just lovely. Yeah.
It sounds like it was a wonderful experience for you guys. Shannon, I'm terrible at math. Right. So the thought of homeschooling my children in certain subjects I might be weak in is intimidating. And I'm sure you are stronger in some subjects than others. How do you handle that?
Well, there's a few things. A lot of times the parent is learning alongside the child, and you don't have to be the expert in it. You can model learning. So you can model, I don't know how to do this. This is how I'm going to learn. This is how I'm going to teach myself, and you learn it together. Sometimes, especially those higher level maths, parents are like, I don't know how to do it, and I don't want to learn how to do it. And there is curriculum out there that will help you, and you can just literally plug the child in, and they can do a video-based curriculum. Also, it's part of Forest Charter to support families, so the school can provide tutoring if that's necessary. That happens a lot with foreign languages because the parents don't always speak the language that the child wants to learn. So we'll provide resources to make sure that the child's able to learn it, whether it's tutoring or video-based curriculum. They can also come in for classes at Forest Charter. So that's an option. Some students don't do all of their homeschooling at home. Some do quite a bit at the school where they take, we call them block classes. They'll come in and take classes. So they could be coming in for foreign language or even history, math, science, and take it at the school.
So it's a hybrid model.
Yeah,
And
some students
which did you guys do? Which model did you follow?
I've actually done quite a few of them. So my first year, I started homeschooling 5th grade. 5th grade, I was all at home, no block classes, nothing. I just was at home. And we would have like the occasional check-ins with my ST. And then 6th through 8th grade, I did the PACE, which is like you go in 3 days a week. You go in 3 days a week for like 4 hours. It's not a whole lot, but you take classes from your teachers, and then the other days, and the second half of the day and the other 2 days where you're not at school, your parents teach you, or you just do your normal homeschooling. That one was actually my favorite because I still got like a social aspect, but also got to like have the flexibility of homeschool and like getting to learn what I want to learn, but also being held accountable for things I didn't want to do. But yeah.
That sounds interesting. That sounds like I think if I were a mom attempting this, that would be a really nice relief, a model where my child is learning from someone who really knows what they're talking about in this specific subject. But my children are all grown up, so it doesn't matter. So what is your preference, Clover? Did you have a style that you like? You said you liked the hybrid model the best. Did you think that homeschooling was a big benefit for you in your education?
I actually think it was, because when I was younger, I had a lot of anxiety, like going to school. I went to public school up until 5th grade when I started homeschooling, and I liked it because I'm a very social person, but also I get so anxious just by anything. And I think that at the middle school age, like there's so much to make you anxious. So like being home, but also like the hybrid PACE model, like getting to see a little bit of it, but also getting to like recharge at home was like perfect for me. And also, I do a lot of dance, which can take time out of the day, and I like don't always, like sometimes I need to skip school, but you can't do that if you're like in a public school. So PACE was perfect because I have days off, it's so flexible. I can go dance, I can do my homework in the car. Yeah.
Sounds like mix for a happy kid.
Yeah.
It was great.
Right. What about the socialization aspect? How do you get together with other homeschool children? Did you arrange play dates or field trips? Or
It's funny. People are always worried about that, but I find it is not an issue at all.
Honestly,
kids play. Yeah.
And we had two other families when I was doing the full homeschool. We had two other families who were also homeschooling at the same school, but like obviously we didn't see each other because we were both fully at home. But we had this thing where I think like once or twice a week we would get together like at the river, bring all our school stuff, and just like do our studying at the river together, and it was really awesome. We called it Rebel School.
Rebel School?
Yeah.
I love it. Well, it's just so interesting. We are so blessed to be in a country in which we have options to educate our children as we feel
100%.
that is customized to who they are.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it was a great success for you, and you continue the legacy with the students that you're mentoring.
Yeah,
and the
I'm
moms and dads
so passionate about it, and really,
I can tell.
Yeah,
I can tell.
It brings me so much joy to be able to help other families have the same wonderful experience that we had.
Awesome. Great. Well, thank you so much. Really interesting. I really appreciate you both being here. Good luck with the new school year.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Well, folks, thank you for watching this edition of Nevada County Now, your choice for local news brought to you by locals. We'd love your input about the show, including your feedback and knowing what you would like to see on future shows. Please email your ideas and suggestions to news@nevadacountytv.org. Also, let us know if you would like to be a guest or contribute as a host, writer, or producer. We'd love to hear from you. Please help spread the word. Together, we can keep our community informed. Until next time, have fun getting out there to explore all our community has to offer. Good night.